All right, so the Democratic National Convention is coming up August 17th to 20th. It's going to be 2 hours a night, so thankfully not a whole day. But because of that, there's going to be limited speaking spots at the convention. Now, of course, it's all online. There's not going to be a giant event with crowds of people. Online, 2 hours a night, limited speaking spots. So guess who they have propped up? Now, the first two names, already we got problems. So this story came out earlier. I think it came out a couple weeks ago now. John Kasich was rumored to have a speaking spot at the convention. Limited space, but they found place for John Kasich. In case you don't know, a Republican right here, and not a moderate, as he's often described. I had a video, I believe I'd covered this, but I had a video breaking down John Kasich and his various horrible positions. But Kasich and Sanders, thankfully at least Sanders is involved. So we got Bernie Sanders there. And the idea that they're trying to portray here for this event is that Biden has a wide array of supporters. Everything from John Kasich and even further right, as you're going to see, to Bernie Sanders. But what's also notable is who they are likely not including in this event. So first, it's kind of hard. Like, I almost want to read through this entire thing because it's kind of hard to get bits and pieces out. But I made a list here in front of me of right now who is confirmed. So we got Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Michelle Obama, Barack Obama, who they hilariously call the, I mean, you know, it's one of these things where it's hard to quantify, but goes without saying that the party's two most popular figures, Barack and Michelle Obama, how do you quantify that? Based on what? Like, they act like it's a given. Oh, of course, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, the most popular figures. Are they? Now, obviously they are popular. Obviously, yes, of course it makes sense to include them in this convention. But I don't know if they are really the most popular figures that are at least backing Biden. Maybe in the Democratic Party, but we got a certain independent who I would say is incredibly popular and raised a lot more small dollars in general than Barack Obama did. But what do I know? So Michelle, Barack Obama, Kamala Harris. Again, I guess she was in the primary, but she was so unpopular that she had to drop out early. Now, I wouldn't have an issue with I wouldn't have an issue with Kamala Harris being in the race if they didn't have a question mark on Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. So if you go through this article, there is this big debate apparently on whether they should include Ocasio-Cortez. Really, the actual, I would say, the most important, the most popular Democrat in the party, AOC, and they aren't sure whether or not she's going to be included. So let me just read maybe several quotes here, as there's some back and forth. So they do say that they want as few elected officials as possible, but almost everyone they've announced is an elected official. And if I can get some quotes here on AOC, this is actually a long article. Oh yeah, guess I should mention now as I'm scrolling through this. The Clintons, both Bill and Hillary, will be featured. Oh, well, actually, the speculation, I think, about Bill. Hillary Clinton likely will be there. There is speculation about Bill Clinton. So it's not confirmed yet whether they will be there, but the fact that they seem more likely to be there than AOC, I think, is clearly a problem. So the question of Ocasio-Cortez's role has set off a debate among Democrats. Progressive activists said she would help energize the base and bring young people behind Biden. They also noted she already served as the co-chair of Biden's Unity Task Force, with Sanders focusing on climate change, as if that's a reason to not include her, or to include her. It would be stupid to not give her a slot, said Corbin Trent, a former top advisor to Ocasio-Cortez. She's one of the best speakers the Democratic Party's got. But some moderate Democrats said privately that it would be harmful to the party harmful to the party if she got a prime time speaking position. Guess what their reasoning is? The same time, Trump is trying to link Biden to her in an effort to paint him as an empty vessel for the progressive left. This is the Democratic consultant class in a nutshell. Always playing this sort of pre-defense, but only when it comes to left-wing issues. Only when it comes to the most popular positions in the country. If you poll people on issues like the Green New Deal, on Medicare for All, on raising taxes, on billionaires, they are all incredibly popular, not just with Democratic voters, with all voters. Yet they want to cut one of the most vocal politicians for those issues. They want to cut her out of the convention. So this is something you really don't have to watch. You really don't need to pay attention to. Most of these speakers, they offer nothing. And it's going to be the same bullshit you've heard year after year after year from the Democratic Party for 40 years. You really don't need to listen to it. And the fact that the Clintons are expected to be there, but AOC is a big question mark, I think kind of tells you everything. But I haven't even... Let me get to, I think, what I would consider to be the cherry on top here. This is, I think, near the beginning of the of the article. Here you go. Democrats are also reaching out to well-known military veterans and Republicans known for their national security expertise. Neocons. They're reaching out to neocons to speak on foreign policy. I'm personally very excited to put all of my energy into slamming Joe Biden every single day when he becomes president. Now, of course, he has to become the president or else can't really do that. You got to focus on the cancerous tumor that is Donald Trump. But if Biden gets into power, and again, the way I look at voting in an election like this, where you got two horrible candidates, you look at the person you want to fight, not who you want to support. Look at the person you want to fight. Do you want to fight Trump or fight Biden? I'd rather fight Biden. I'm looking forward to focusing on this horrible Democratic Party that props up Republicans known for their national security expertise. I don't even know what else to add to that. The party is such garbage. Total garbage. That it has to get to a point where you're voting for somebody to fight them as opposed to because you're supporting them. It shows you how bad the party's gotten. But it's also a reminder that you can't simply view politics as voting every 4 years or every 2 years. You have to view it through a perspective of building movements, of building support, building energy for various issues. Because a lot of your power is not... People think all their power is only in the vote. If that was true, then all the people that predicted that if Hillary lost and Trump won, then it would turn the entire country, all the Democratic Party progressive, and Bernie Sanders would win in a landslide in 2020... Didn't happen. All it did was lower the bar. So if you view politics simply as just the vote and that's your only way to send a message, you're missing like 75% of the picture. You have to look at building energy, at running local races, supporting local races, running in states, supporting statewide races, you have to build the infrastructure, build on the ground, build the interest locally and at the state level to be able to have a real impact when it comes to these national races. So you can't simply look at voting for the president as your only course of action, because it's not. Look at how change happens. It comes from the ground up. It comes from movements. You know, like civil rights didn't get through because you got the right president. No, it's from movements. Same with gay rights, same with anything else. It's not because you got the right president. It's because the movements were there on the ground, putting the pressure on various administrations, and almost always Democratic administrations, when it comes to actual changes, even though, again, they're few and far between. But when it comes to signing it into law, it's going to be a Democrat doing that, even if they are horrible in many ways and have bad records. But you got to look at your ability to fight, not just when it comes to the vote, but in general, through movements, through political pressure.